About, where we talk about subjects that are hopefully of interest to you. If you have a suggestion for a topic, please feel free to email me at talk@bcattv.org, or you can call in by calling 781-270-9199. We are live this evening, and my name is Linda McNamee, and I'm host of Something to Talk About. And before we begin tonight's episode, I would like to thank my crew, JT Marchand and Colleen Moore, who are volunteers here. They're volunteering their time to help me out, so I thank them. And I'd also like to thank Korey McNeil and Mike Duvall, who are staff members here at BCAT, for helping us out. And I'd also like to thank Jen Dodge, who created those amazing intro credits for me. I just love the bubbles. So anyway, I would like to also thank my husband for staying home with the kids tonight and allowing me to come to BCAT. And I hope that Gwyneth and Evan have a pleasant daddy date night. And I hope they have a good night. So love you guys, and I will see you soon. Thanks. Now for tonight's show, I would like to introduce our guest, Korey Barkley, who is philanthropist extraordinaire. Seems like you do a lot of stuff. So we are going to focus our conversation on Womenade, which is a nonprofit organization in Burlington. But before we get started, I'm totally impressed with your philanthropy. It just seems like you're always doing everything. So can you start out by telling me a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, where you went to school, and what brought you to Burlington?
Sure. I grew up in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, and kind of just went all through school there. Ended up at UMass Amherst for college, and then I went to Brandeis for grad school.
Oh, wow. What was your graduate degree in?
Psychology.
Oh, okay.
So I was a Spanish teacher for 7 years, and then I became a guidance counselor. So I was a guidance counselor for a little while, and then I went back to teaching Spanish. So I'm actually teaching Spanish in Burlington right now.
What brought you to Burlington?
My husband and I were looking for kind of an affordable-ish town, close enough to Boston, but not too far away. He's not from around here. We didn't really want to live in Shrewsbury, and
fair enough.
He ended up getting a job in Burlington.
Oh,
so
fabulous.
We found a house literally around the corner from his office, and it sort of worked out that I got a job here too. So now
Excellent.
we each have 3-minute commutes. So we're really happy with our decision to move here.
Great. How did you get involved in philanthropy? Because I know you do Womenade, you do Mother to Mother, you have a Relay for Life team. You're always doing fundraisers and helping people out for one thing or another. So how'd you get involved in that?
I think, and I was thinking about this, I'm pretty sure that what happened was when I went to college, my parents wouldn't let me get a job. They told me they wanted me to focus on school. And so I was bored.
You sure we're not like twins, separated at birth?
So I ended up taking all of these extra credits that were like volunteer credits through school. So at UMass, there's this program called Boltwood, and that's when you can volunteer. You get 2 credits a semester, and you volunteer in an adult living community. So I volunteered in this community and did arts and crafts projects with them, or read to them. It was really fun. And then the next semester, I did Future Teachers, which is a program where, again, I would get a credit or 2 for going in every week and volunteering in a classroom. And I volunteered in a classroom in Belchertown, and it was a 1st and 2nd grade classroom, and the teacher had 25 kids all by herself.
Wow.
So it actually worked out really well for her to have me come, and she would work with the 1st graders on reading, and then I would take the 2nd graders and do something else.
Now, did you know at that time you wanted to become a teacher?
I always wanted to be a teacher, but I never wanted to teach elementary school, so it was kind of interesting to see what they were. I mean, I think all kids are cute. So having a kindergartner now, I go into her class and I'm amazed at what they're able to accomplish with all those 5-year-olds. But I loved it. but I always knew that I wanted to teach middle school or high school.
Okay.
So.
See, I was the opposite. I always wanted to teach up to, third grade was my ideal.
Yeah, most people get scared when the kids turn 12.
Yeah.
But for me, that's like the ideal age.
I student taught 6th grade, and some of the students thought I was actually a student. Yeah, that was not pretty.
Yeah, I got asked for my hall pass my first couple of years teaching. And I taught in a middle school, and I was like, you guys, I'm like 20-something.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now if somebody confused you as a high school student, it's like, thank you.
Yeah.
You want to see my ID? I'd love to show you my ID. Mm-hmm. So, okay, how and when did you come up for the idea for Womenade?
So Womenade is actually a national organization.
Oh, okay.
And I had never heard about it until, I think it was maybe 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago.
Okay.
A friend of mine who lives in Bedford and is from Bedford had cancer, and she's a single mom. And her kids were like, I don't know, they must have been 3 and 6 at the time.
Oh, wow.
And she had to have surgery, and, she had some support, but not a ton. And the Womenade in Bedford got together and raised a ton of money for her to help her pay her bills and pay her rent and pay, for helping with childcare and all that stuff. And I went to that event. And so I basically actually met her because my real estate agent is from Bedford, and she introduced me to the woman that watched Maya, my daughter, for the first 3 years that I was working when she was little, and this was that girl's best friend, from home. And so it was sort of like one of those things where I went and I was like in awe of what they were doing. I couldn't believe it. There were like 35, 40 women, all from Bedford area, that got together. Everyone brought a gift card. They raised a ton of money. Like, people continued to like send money, and like people brought her meals and did her laundry for her. It was amazing, and I think it was like really instrumental in helping her like heal and get better.
Now, how did Womenade find out about her? Was it just like somebody that she knew?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
So yeah, Womenade is like pretty much word of mouth. So somebody knew that she was sick, and somebody emailed or called one of the women on the board of the Bedford Womenade.
Okay.
And so I was totally inspired, and I ended up going to a couple more Bedford Womenade events, and then I talked to the people that run it to ask them how they started it. And they were like, oh, it's really easy. You just do this. And so I did it. Cool. Sort of. It wasn't that easy, actually.
Oh, yeah.
But
never
is
as easy.
It was easier than you'd think. And I had help. I had a really good friend help me with the website. And then there's 5 of us on the board all together now. So it's not just me by myself. So it's definitely a lot easier than you'd think.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, because I remember reading you only have to do like 3 or 4 fundraisers a year.
Yeah, so we just have an event. We had 3 last year, and we're going to do 4 this year and see how it goes. And we'll try and stick with 4 if we can.
Okay, what's involved in an event?
Usually.
Like big party, like.
No, I mean, not yet. So the ones in Bedford are definitely bigger because they've been going for 10 years, and this is only our 2nd year. And the women that run it in Bedford are more established in the community. Okay. Their kids aren't all like in preschool and stuff.
Oh, yeah. So where do you find time to do anything with a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old?
It's also hard because all of my friends have young kids, and it's hard to get people out of the house in the evening. Everyone's exhausted. A lot of them don't have somebody at home to watch the kids. Either their husbands work at night, or they don't hire babysitters. So it's hard to get people out at night. And a lot of my friends either are not working or are working part-time, so it's not like they have a ton of money to give away.
Not a lot of disposable income.
Right.
I'll volunteer my time, but my bank account is too important to me right now.
And so when I go to the events in Bedford, generally there's between, I'd say 30 and 50 women that go. And our events, one of them was 40 people, which was incredible. That was the one for the Wells family.
Oh, okay.
And other than that, it's been closer to 20 average. I'd say between.
20 is still a good
group. It's a great amount of people. And so basically what we do is we just find somebody to host at their house. We pick a night that works for them.
Okay.
And then we send out, emails, and we post it on the Facebook page and on the website. We send out evites and stuff like that. And we ask people to each bring either an appetizer, a dessert, or a beverage, some wine or something, and a gift card to a grocery store, to a gas station, to CVS,
Can you get gas cards?
Yeah, Hess Station has them. Really? Everywhere has them, yeah.
Oh,
in fact, if you go to the grocery store, they'll have them. You can just buy one at the grocery store.
I heard BJ's is a really good place to get.
Yes.
Because they actually offer discounts on on gift cards.
Yeah, they do. I know. It's really cool. So basically we collect gift cards in lieu of checks because we're not like a registered nonprofit organization, and we
Okay.
don't have a tax ID or anything. That would complicate things a little bit, although we're talking about doing it.
Okay.
So what we end up doing is we collect all the gift cards. We suggest that they're about $25, but people can bring in 10, they can bring more, they can bring less. It doesn't matter as long as they come, and it's even better when they bring a friend to, to spread the word. And we've raised anywhere from $500 to over $2,000 at our events, every event. And so it's been
amazing.
Really cool to see, how the town and the community can come together and help certain families.
Is the family that's benefiting from the fundraiser, are they involved at all? Do they show up at the event, or
They can. So
do
they're
they have
invited.
to invite all of their friends, or?
So basically what we do is when we find out about a family that could use our help is we contact them and we ask them if they would be willing to accept our help, if they would be
That's
interested. And a lot of people aren't interested.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they're, going through a tough time and they can't even think about anything else, or they don't want everyone to know, but we could totally make it make it anonymous. Exactly.
There's a family that.
Right, exactly. But then there's some families that are very open with their situation, and they do come to the event. And so it's been really nice. Sometimes the family can't come to the event, sometimes they can.
Okay.
The last event we did was for a man who's from Burlington but actually lives in Florida, and he had a heart transplant.
Ooh.
He was sick for a really long time, and his sisters live here still.
Okay.
And one of his sisters came to the event, which was really nice. And she got to tell everyone how he's doing now.
Set up a Skype and actually talk to him.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. That's actually a good idea. But so we've had a couple people come to the events, but not everyone. Say half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody approached you, like we had mentioned that you do like 3 or 4 fundraisers a year, have you ever had to turn anybody away saying we're not equipped to do another fundraiser right now? We just had one last week, or
We haven't turned anyone away yet.
Okay.
We've definitely talked to people about
or like a wait list or something.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely, so right now we had an event in the fall and we had an event in the winter, and we have an event planned for the spring. And we had somebody ask about maybe doing another event.
Oh, okay.
And we said, yeah, we could do that in the summer, but we haven't heard back from them yet, so I'm not sure if it's because they would want us to do it sooner. We actually decided to do something new in March. We've never done this before, but Bedford does it, and so I thought it would be a good idea to
why
try.
not?
I feel like because Womenade started, so many years ago in Washington, D.C. and then spread, and they wanted it to spread, I feel like it's okay to sort of like take ideas from the other groups.
Absolutely.
And they are okay with it too. So
Yeah.
Womenade in Bedford does this thing where they have these ladies' nights out, and they have people come and do like mini facials and like little dance
Is it still at
classes.
somebody's house, or?
No, it's at, I think it might be at the recreation department or something. And so it's sort of more like a ladies' night out where they can like do some shopping and do some hanging out, and then also like do raffles and stuff.
Ooh.
And so we sort of did a miniature. We're doing something like that, but a little bit smaller scale in Burlington. Marianne Pereira over at Echo Enrichment volunteered her space, her preschool
yeah, that's
space.
a good space.
And so on March 14th, it's a Thursday evening from 6:30 to 8:30, we're having an event, and it's going to be the Burlington Womenade shopping raffle night.
Ooh.
So you can come, and there will be, I think we have 8 vendors so far, and maybe we'll get closer to 10. So some Tupperware, some Avon, some handmade bags.
You gotta get what are those mixes, like cake mixes and bread mixes that
Tastefully simple.
Yeah.
We're trying to find we want a tastefully simple person, so hopefully someone will come.
So if you are a tastefully simple person, what's your website? Hopefully they'll get the website up on the screen, but do you want to say it for?
Yeah, it's www.burlingtonmawomenade.org.
Okay, and I'm assuming information for this March.
Yes, it's on there, and it will be updated when we have more information.
Okay.
So far, I think we have 15 items for raffles.
Okay.
And we're hoping to have closer to 20, 25.
Okay.
And we're definitely hoping that night, because it's not designated for a specific family, that night will be our night to, get gift cards or get cash and turn it into gift cards that we can give to a family that's in a more emergent situation, because we don't have that right now. We don't have a slush fund. And so it'd be good to have that, so that when we do get a call, like there were these fires in Wilmington the other day, and there's all these families that lost their homes, and maybe we can help them with this event, like spread it out a little bit. So it'll be nice to have some like slush fund money for more emergent situations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Wilmington and the gentleman that lived in Florida, do the recipients of Burlington's Womenade have to be residents of Burlington, or do they have to have a current connection to Burlington, or?
I think that the goal is to have most of the people that are beneficiaries be residents of Burlington, but because we're still starting out, we haven't been, it's sort of hard to turn people down, first of all, and then like we don't have a ton of people coming to us and saying, what about this, this person, that person. So
that's why you come see me.
Yeah. The first event we did, actually, we didn't really know of anybody that needed help, so we did an event to raise money for families that had that tornado out in Western Mass.
Oh, yeah.
A couple years ago.
Still recovering from some areas are still recovering.
Like people lost their entire house. So
didn't they have like a tornado and then like 1 month later have the hurricane or something?
Yeah, something crazy. It was,
devastating.
And a good friend of mine from high school lived down the street from where it happened. Oh, wow. And so she was very connected with families out there. So I connected with her and sent her all the gift cards. So we helped 2 families, I think, that time, which was really nice. So yeah, it'd be great if like all the families were either from Burlington or had a connection to Burlington, but somehow there's always a connection to someone, right?
Yeah, the whole 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon thing,
Yeah.
Okay. Although I
6 degrees of Linda McNamee.
Linda McNamee, yeah, there we go. Although I heard with Kevin, now it's 3 degrees.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. He knows everybody.
He knows everybody.
He's a musician now, so.
Really?
Oh, you didn't know that? He has a band.
No.
The Kevin Bacon Band.
Okay, we digress.
Sorry.
No, that's my fault. I always go off on the tangents. Okay, you already, my little cheat sheet of all my questions. I think you may have touched upon this, but overhead costs for running the organization. You said there are 5 women that work with you, so a total of 6 of you. You're all volunteers to do this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so really there are no overhead costs. You don't have to have like a bank account. You don't have to have space. You don't.
The Womenade, the website costs $10 a year.
Okay.
So that's woohoo! I handle that cost.
More philanthropic endeavors.
The only
tax write-off.
Yeah, the only real cost is for people that are hosting, and all they really have to do is like clean up their house. They don't have to buy anything or provide anything like. Everyone's bringing stuff, and so it's not very expensive.
They don't want to bring their good china out, so they probably go and dollar store and get.
I bring some. I offer to bring. A lot of times, people want to use real plates. I'm not sure why. Especially with 20 people, you want to watch 20 wine glasses. I don't know.
No.
But a lot of people want to. So
I don't even think I own 20 wine. I think I might own 2.
Definitely don't. I think I own 8, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of times people want to use like their real glasses and their real stuff just because they think it's an excuse to use it.
That's true. And it probably, makes the event feel just a little bit better, a little more formal.
Well, it's so cool because if you think like if you get an appetizer or a bottle of wine, or make a dessert or something, maybe you're spending between like $5 and $10 on that, and then you're spending maybe $20 to $25, on a gift card. So you're having a night out, and usually it's really fun, and it's costing like 30-ish bucks.
That's true.
And you're helping people, and so
bonus.
If everyone's doing that, it's really cool to see how it can add up. And even people that can't come to events, sometimes they'll drop off a gift card anyway, and that's really cool. It's really nice.
Now, I think you also touched upon this, but after the event, do you ever get like residual gifts, or do you ever go back and help the family? Like, if you don't have anybody for your summer fundraiser, would you go back and do something for this gentleman in Florida, or
possibly, yeah,
one of the other families that you've helped?
Because we have the event, then we end up being kind of connected to the people that we helped. And so, for example, little Marty Wells, we had an event for him last year, and it was like it was our biggest event because everyone just loves that family and really
well, plus there's something about, a 3-year-old who's been diagnosed with cancer that you want to do something.
And it's really been cool because we've become really close with them. And so the Mother to Mother group is actually having a fundraiser for them this weekend.
Okay. That's right.
We were going to go. Yeah. We were going to do another Womenade event for them, but Mother to Mother had this idea, and we sort of went with it and figured we might as well. So it'll be like a smaller scale because Mother to Mothers, we have 105 moms in the group, but generally there's like, right, a population of maybe 30 moms, 20 to 30 moms that actually go to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. There's about 30 people signed up to come, I think on
so.
Saturday. So.
And there's always, extra people that just randomly show up and other people that don't show up. So it's, 30 moving targets. It's the new math.
Yeah.
Basically. So we will talk a little bit more about Mother to Mother in a few minutes, but let's just go through my checklist. Families in need of help is pretty much through word of mouth.
Yeah.
Either somebody on the board, somebody that you work with, or maybe somebody that's associated with somebody else that you've helped. Or if somebody has an idea that's watching tonight, could they just contact you on their website?
Yeah.
On your website?
So my email address is on the website, and they could just contact me on there. We also have a Facebook page.
Ooh.
So if you just go Burlington MA Womenade, then we'd have a Facebook page as well, so they could contact us through that.
I always have a hard time finding stuff on Facebook.
I know. I want to put a link on the webpage, but my friend that helped me with the webpage moved to Wisconsin, so I sort of need her to come back and help me do that.
Yeah, that's true. That would be a challenge.
But
it's on the website. She could do it from Wisconsin.
I know, right? Maybe she will. I will talk to her about that later.
Hey, there you go. Modern technology.
But yeah, I mean, I think that my hope, definitely now that I'm working in the school system, this is my first year, is that I'll get to know the families even better and people will feel comfortable coming to me. And, being an employee in the school will help me sort of get the word out more about Womenade. I haven't really advertised it yet with the school, but I definitely will.
Now, could you use the school as a medium to help promote, or does the school have like restrictions on?
In fact, they were, even like the superintendent was really, he saw my resume and asked me about it and thought that was really cool. And so nobody discouraged me from saying anything. Our next event in May is actually to help a family in town, and the mom works in the school that I work in. So, so I'll definitely kind of publicize
Don't have to
that.
Get to specifics.
Yeah. So I'll publicize that a little bit more because people will know them. So, but yeah, I think like the best way that I've actually found out about a lot of stuff is because there's a few people on the board that are from town, and their families find out about things word of mouth. And then I've also read things on the patch, like other fundraisers that happen, like if Rotary or Elks doing a fundraiser, maybe they're raising a couple of grand, but maybe that family needs more than that,
Right.
And so we sort of piggyback off their fundraiser and like help, in a different way. So
it's a good cause. You got to kind of use I know a guy. Okay. What are the qualifications to become a beneficiary? Do you have to have like some medical condition, or could it be something as simple as, the primary breadwinner has been laid off and has been out of work for 2 years and they have 3 small children? Or are there any qualifications to meet the needs?
We don't have like written specifications really. For the most part, it's been people that just needed help. They were in some sort of crisis. It doesn't even have to be a financial crisis, like some sort of trouble, like situation that's difficult. We helped a couple of single moms in town that we found out about through Heartbeat, which is over by St. Margaret's.
Yep.
And
made lots of donations there.
Yeah, they help a lot of single moms, and it's amazing what they do. And so we had an event for a couple of single moms that live in Burlington, and there was no like major crisis. They just were like on maternity leave and weren't getting paid. Yeah. So it was just like something as simple as that,
to hold
and
them
we were
over
able to help them out. And then it also was kind of nice to get the word out there that like people can donate stuff to Heartbeat, and like it's going to these, single parents in town or very local. So it's kind of nice.
Wow.
Yes.
Again, it's just this networking. Networking is important. For every aspect of your life, it seems. If somebody wanted to help out, are there other ways of helping out other than to donate a gift card at a fundraising event?
Well, we're always sort of open to having more board members.
Okay.
We have 5 right now, and I've actually been talking to somebody else about potentially being on the board as well. And I don't know if I necessarily have a limit to how many board members we have, because really the only job that you have being on the board is that hopefully you'll host a party at some point and just help to really get the word out there. So every time something's posted on Facebook, post it on your page too. You know, send an email out to like everyone you know about everything. And I would hope that a lot of people will do that anyway, but definitely like by being on the board, it sort of ensures that they're certainly going to do that. We meet just once or twice a year aside from the events, so it's not like a major time commitment. It's not a financial commitment. So yeah, we were definitely interested in having more volunteers. And
do you have to be female?
Kind of, I guess.
Kind of, okay. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
You know,
Gender confused.
Well, no, I've signed my kid up for Mommy and Me class through the rec department, and sometimes dads come. So just wondering if, you know, some dad wanted to help out. I'm just throwing it out there.
We help dads.
We'll
help, you know, men, but it's generally a woman thing. I do kick my husband out every time we have one of the events at my house.
Go away.
You can leave.
Go in the man cave.
Yeah.
If you don't have a man cave, just go find one.
I just send them out. Go away.
There you go.
Just go out with your friends.
Here's the grocery list. Go shopping, dear. So how can others donate to families? You know, if they come to a fundraiser, this idea just kind of popped in my head. If they come to a fundraiser and find out, could they volunteer to do laundry or babysit or, you know, other areas like that, or is it just, we
don't organize that necessarily, although if it were a situation where we could, we would definitely organize some sort of like, you know, meals, or, you know, what's that website called? Lots of Helping Hands, where you can organize meals, and we've done that for families in town that sort of needed that extra help. You know, one parent was in the hospital with a kid, and the other parent was home with the other kids, and it was just kind of like a crazy mess. So it just was easier for them to have meals delivered.
Family in the area,
right? And not that they need a meal every single night, but maybe 3 or 4 nights a week to get a delivery would be nice. And so that's actually really easy to set up. So we've never done it before, but we would. We've never had to. Other people have done it, you know. So it's sort of like already being done.
So at this point in time, Womenade hasn't necessarily gone back and done a second fundraiser, but like you had said, you know, other organizations that you're affiliated with, once they learn about a family, they might end up branching, and then from that it kind of, you know, kind of duplicate, not really a duplication of effort, but just kind of coming together and helping other people. Okay. Where do you see the organization in like 5 years? Because you said last year you did 3 fundraisers. This year you hope to do 4. In your ideal world, where do you see this in 5 years?
I think that, I guess my goal would be to have them be, you know, a little bit bigger, like in Bedford. And I actually have a friend who's from Acton, and she came to one of the events because she was curious, and she ended up starting a Womenade in Acton as well.
Wow.
And I went to hers, and like her second event ever, she had 25 people or something, and I was like, oh my gosh. She's a guidance counselor at Acton Boxborough High School, and she, you know, has lived in the area for a long time. She definitely knows a lot of people. You know, and I feel like what I would really like is just to have it continue to grow. Every event we've had has gotten like a little bit bigger, a little bit better, you know, so it would be really nice just to have those events where like 30 or 40 people come, and they don't all necessarily need to be there at the same time, but if some people came at the beginning, and like some people, you know, had to go, and then other people came a little
like
on the later end.
Just kind of.
Yeah, because I don't know if we're going to be able to get people to host. If we're going to be getting
I don't think there 40 people would fit in my house.
The first event was at my house, and I think we had 10 or 11, and that's a lot for my house. So, you know, we've had other people. We've had Paula at True North offered her space for one of our events, which was really nice because we had
really amazing.
Close to 20, maybe 24 people or something like that at that one. But yeah, we've always said to people, if you have a really big house, you should host an event. There's definitely big houses in this town. It's not mine.
You should. You will host an event. So, okay. What about 10 years? Or in your ideal world, what would the perfect Womenade organization be? You know, instead of looking 10 years down the road, having 50 people at events or, you know, monthly events, you know, you'd be able to find out.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely would be cool if it grew and we had more need and more people interested in helping and, you know, to have more events, you know.
Well, maybe not wanting more need, but finding out about people in need.
Yeah. If there was more need that we knew about, exactly. Yes.
Like, you don't want to wish.
Yeah, no, I don't want more bad things to happen.
I knew what you meant, but
I definitely feel like because I've only lived in town for 6.5 years, and the only people I've really been able to meet for the most part are through my kids, you know, through preschool and mom's group and all that stuff. I feel like I haven't really like met different people from a lot of different age groups.
You don't quite feel like a townie yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Although soon, I believe, it will happen. I've never lived anywhere aside from Shrewsbury for more than 2 years until here. So it's been an interesting experience.
You're a homeowner now.
Yes.
You have to stay. No, you don't have to stay.
Yeah, we do. Forever.
Exactly. Never.
But yeah, as I said, we're really happy here, and I've been really pleased at my experiences, you know, meeting people and in the school system and everything. So
yeah, mother's been great for me because I've been able to like meet other moms and everything. And my husband likes when I come to hang out at BCAT as well, because BCAT has a great bunch of volunteers as well from every aspect, every age, you know, the entire age spectrum, every aspect of life. And I get to find out about stuff going on in town. So he's like, hey, go over to BCAT, see what you can find out.
Yeah.
You know, next time you're at BCAT, find out what's being built over here or what's going on here.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of buildings going up all the time.
It's amazing. Actually, in hopefully soon, I will be having a show on real estate, and we're going to hopefully touch upon
that'd be really
how
cool.
can Burlington support so many condos coming up all at once.
Then can we talk about the new grocery store that's coming in?
What new grocery? Oh, Wegmans.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, not tonight, but that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
You can talk to the planning commission.
There you go. Because I don't really go to any of the meetings in town, so I just wait and watch them. So, okay, you mentioned earlier about, or do you have anything that you would like to add about Womenade?
Let's see.
That you have. You mentioned the upcoming fundraiser. Do you remember when in March it is?
March 14th. It's a
March
Thursday
14th.
Night. Yep. At Echo Enrichment Center.
At Echo Enrichment, which is right in the center of town.
Yeah, from 6:30 to 8:30.
Right behind AJ Rose.
And everyone's welcome. And that's the thing, is that like if you don't have someone around to watch your kids and they don't go to bed till 8, come from 6:30 to 7:30 and like have some snacks and like do a little shopping or buy some raffle tickets. Right. And you don't have to be there to win the raffles. Like we'll pull them out at the end of the night. If you're not there, we'll call you, you know. Okay. It would just be great to have more than 20 or 30 people come, because the more raffle tickets we sell, the better. We're even going to sell some raffle tickets in advance, because there will be people that can't come. In fact, one of our board members, her husband works every Tuesday and Thursday night, so she can't make it. But, I should mention who the board members are.
Oh, actually, absolutely.
Right? So our first board member, our first volunteer was...
remember everybody and don't forget someone.
Charlene Davis, who's from town.
Okay.
And I met her through preschool, through Echo Enrichment, where Maya went to school.
Okay.
And then the second one was Christy Shannon, who I actually met at Flip City Gymnastics with Maya. And then there was Elizabeth Mello, who I met through Mother to Mother.
Okay.
And then Kristen Brady, who's going to be on your show in 2 weeks.
Who's going to be on my show in 2 weeks.
Who's from this town as well. So Kristen Brady and Charlene have been awesome.
Okay.
You know, in terms of like knowing a lot of people. And Christy is married to someone from town. Okay. And her mother-in-law is a real estate agent.
Oh,
which has been helpful, yeah. And so it's kind of nice to have people to help get the word out.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like as I said, you know, we're always looking for more volunteers. We're always looking, it's a very open group. And so people shouldn't feel like they can't come to an event. Like we'll talk to everybody. And
that was one other question that I was thinking of as we were talking. Now, the structure so far of your fundraisers have been like the open house with the appetizers, potluck, the potlucks. And you also mentioned this event in March at Alco Enrichment, you're doing the raffle. Have you ever done an event that's just a silent auction or an auction or now? Do you know of any other Womenades that do other events other than the potlucks? I mean, are they allowed?
Yeah.
Or is it the structure of Womenade is Womenade branch or chapters host?
I'm pretty sure that that was the original idea. Basically what happened in Washington, D.C., this might have been 12 years ago, a group of women that were all friends and got together all the time anyway, maybe 6 or 7 of them. They heard about a family that needed some help, and so they got together one night, just the 7 of them, and they each put a bunch of gift cards in the pot and gave it to the family, and then they were like, we should do this more often, and we should invite more people. Wouldn't that be cool? And then they called it Womenade. So the reason that I decided to do the shopping night with the raffles is because I got the idea from Bedford.
Okay.
And because they do their extra event, because they want to have an extra, I don't know if they call it a slush fund, but yeah, like an extra cushion for, if they have a family that just really needs their help and can't wait for an event, can't wait for them to plan a potluck.
Yeah.
Because we do have a potluck planned for March 3rd,
which
I believe is a Friday night. I think it's a Friday night.
Sure,
May 3rd.
sounds good.
May 3rd.
May 3rd.
May 3rd. Because our March 14th event is the slush fund, and then May 3rd is the next event. Sorry.
And that's going to be the traditional potluck.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So what we did this year, which was different than last year, is we planned all of our events at once. And we posted them in September so that everyone knew, this is when it is in October.
Write it in your
this is when it is. Exactly. So, because people get busy. We get busy. The girls on the board were, with our kids and the families and everything's crazy. You know how it is.
And Kristen with her 2 businesses that she'll be talking about in 2 weeks.
Yeah, all of us are doing something. Some of us are working full-time, some of us part-time, some of us multiple times.
And I've just learned, having small children, that's a job in itself.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like, time for what?
I know.
So, okay, let's talk a little bit about, how are we doing? We have roughly about 20 minutes left.
Okay.
So let's talk about Mother to Mother, because would you say a big chunk of that is philanthropy, or it's kind of...
Like 25% maybe?
Okay.
Right? Do you think? It's a lot of it.
It's hard to put a percentage, but it's a noticeable amount, I think, because at the different events that we have, like the Halloween party, the big parties, the Halloween party, the holiday party, Valentine's Day party, and
the end of the year.
The end of the year party. Okay, I've never made it to that. I'm too afraid to bring my children that close to a swimming pool. All of those have a
fundraising
portion. Not even a fundraising; it's a donation.
Item donation.
So in the past, we've helped out Heartbeat, like you've mentioned. I think the first one that I remember you doing was
Cradles
the cap.
for Crayons.
Was it Cradles? What was the cap one?
Oh,
hats.
Yes.
We had to bring hats.
Gosh, what was that company, that organization called?
Caps for
Caps
Kids?
Caps for Cancer, Caps for Kids, Caps for Kids with Cancer. I can't remember. I'm sorry.
I don't remember, but we helped them.
Yes, we got lots of caps and hats. It was really fun.
Yes, I was so mad because I found the cutest hat and I bought it. And then I went to a different store and realized that instead of spending $10, I could have gone to the store and found one for $1, and I could have bought 10 hats. Oops.
Yeah.
But Mother to Mother basically is not just a philanthropic organization. It's a networking group for moms with small kids.
Yeah, I'd say anywhere from newborns. We have parents with 8-year-olds.
Yeah, I think after about 7 or 8 years old,
would be
parents kind of end up getting involved in schools and the PTO or soccer or, because kids scouting, kids have a lot more opportunities when they're 8 as opposed to when they're 3.
Right. Well, and a lot of people maybe go back to work after their kids start school. I don't know.
Right.
That was my goal in life, to get back out there.
Yep, when my kid enters kindergarten or maybe first grade.
Yeah,
I'm going to go back to work, so I get a new kitchen.
Oh, me too.
So, I hope. But it's a networking group for moms, and we have the big parties, but we also do play groups.
Little events.
Crafts.
Like today, the cookie decorating.
The cookie thing was
fun.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Cookie decorating,
and you do the crafts.
right before
crafts
dinner,
are
let's
fun.
pump our kids up with sugar.
It's great. It worked out really well.
Yeah, and the crafts are really, I love doing the crafts. The crafts are a lot of fun. And again, Paula at True North has been
she's awesome.
overly generous donating the space and having all these little munchkins run around terrorizing all of her clients.
Yeah.
I feel really bad, but...
Don't feel bad. She's cool with it. It really does drum up her business, I think, you know?
I think so.
And then, like, she also offered to host Ed the Music Man on Thursday
That's
afternoons
right.
at 3:30, and that's been awesome because my kids love him, and they love mini muffins. So it's a perfect combination.
Perfect combination.
And then
Although I'm a little worried because my 2-year-old is, like, addicted to talking about coffee.
Really? Interesting.
Everything's a coffee mug, and he's always talking about coffee. He's never had any. He does not know what it tastes like.
Start telling him about tea.
Maybe. I don't know. But he can recognize the Dunkin' Donuts logo anywhere.
Oh, that's funny.
So I digress. But yeah, the crafts. Recently we started up going to Atria Long Meadow Place and kind of adopting some of the
little
grandparents.
community outreach.
Yeah, a little community outreach. So it's not exactly fundraising, but it's still reaching out to others in the community and kind of, you know, sharing things.
Yeah, and they seem to love having the kids there, and the kids. That's a really nice place to go. So the kids love to go there.
It is really nice. I remember we were walking out after doing the Valentines, and this one woman, I don't think she attended the event, but she was nearby. She's like, "Whose kids are those? Did they make this Valentine?" And I'm like, "Well, they didn't make that one, but yeah, we made Valentines. Can you come over and give me a hug?"
Oh my gosh.
And of course my child freaked out because she's like, "I'm not going over and hugging some random person." But the woman said to me, "Tell them tonight that, I don't know, Granny K or whatever, I don't remember what her name was, but tell them that give them a big hug for me tonight because I'm so glad that they came." And it's like, as soon as you hear that,
really
it's
nice,
like,
yeah.
you know.
And we'd love to do more events like that. It's really hard.
be-
I've called like every senior living area in town, and that's the only one that's called me back for 2 years in a row. And so we'll just keep going there. I like it there.
Yeah, it's convenient.
But if anybody else like wants us to come visit, you know, I mean,
they can
the kids are
send me
cute.
a note on my website or on the BCAT website, which is talk@bcattv.org. Yes, I got that right. Okay.
But I didn't start the community outreach program through Mother to Mother. I believe Jen Savoy started it. Or whoever, maybe whoever was there before her, because she was the she was like the secretary of Mother to Mother for a few years.
Jen was Mother to Mother for a few years.
Yeah, and so I just was really excited when the position opened up because it was very up my alley.
Oh, excellent.
I kept it for 2 years. And maybe
so have you changed it at all? Because
I guess someone
tried to grow it, or...
I think I'm sort of doing what they wanted me to do, but the year that I joined Mother to Mother, the person that was doing community outreach, I never met her. So I don't actually know what she really did because I joined in March and then she was done. 2 months later. And so I don't actually know what she did, and then she wasn't, I don't think she was in the group anymore. And so I sort of just picked up. Yeah. I sort of just picked up where she left off and didn't know what she did before. So, you know, I knew about the pajama program, and I knew about Cradles to Crayons, and I knew about the caps for cancer, and sort of just like found out about Heartbeat through Christy Shannon. Actually, she told me about it. So
actually, the show that I took over for Open for Discussion had the woman who runs Heartbeat on a couple of times, and that's how I found out about the organization.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's come to a couple of our events. And she's helped us find the families that could use.
Oh, I couldn't wait. As soon as after I had my second kid, I'm like, "Hi, you want my maternity clothes?
We want everything.
Take them. Yep. I don't want them anymore." So luckily,
they need a bigger space to hold all their stuff.
They definitely do.
Yeah.
But yeah, the things that they need is just amazing.
They said they had 110 moms this year that they were helping, and they started out, I guess, with 10 or 20 the first year.
Wow.
Just 7 years ago. And every year it's like
it's only
multiplied.
7 years old?
I think so. I don't.
Wow. Okay.
I don't.
I thought it was.
She was a teacher before.
Okay.
And she left teaching to do this.
Okay.
So yeah, she's.
Yeah, I was totally
incredible.
amazed that
that's all volunteer run as well.
It is. It's just amazing. Wow.
Yeah. So this new organization that I found out about that will probably be the recipient of the next event that we do for Mother to Mother is called Birthday Wishes. And it's really cool. They help kids who either their families can't afford to throw them birthday parties or who are living in shelters, and they throw them birthday parties.
So it's not like Make-A-Wish where the kids...
No.
Okay.
It's just birthdaywishes.org, and there's an office up in Reading. And my daughter actually had a birthday party a couple weeks ago, and instead of getting gifts, we asked for gift cards to Target, and we went to Target, and she bought a bunch of presents for like another girl that's 6, and we put it all together and like made it into a box and brought it there the other day, and it's really cool. They don't need presents only. They need like wrapping paper and like hats and paper plates and tablecloths and all the extra stuff that you need for a birthday party.
Gift card to Market
Even
Basket
juice
because they
boxes.
have really good cake there.
Yeah.
Oh, the cake is awesome.
Yeah, but everything that you'd need at a party, they just need all of it because they make these boxes and throw parties for these kids that wouldn't have a party.
Is looking for space involved in that as well? Because if you have a party, you have kids, and
I'm not sure.
Okay.
That's a good question. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that they only just like they bring the box either to that child's house or to the shelter where they're living, and like throw the party there. And like
do they also help like kids with parents who are incarcerated, or?
Probably.
Just curious because I know sometimes like at Christmas time, a lot of church groups and a lot of nonprofits get Christmas presents and bring them to the parent that's imprisoned, and the parent actually gives the presents to the kid.
I've never heard of that. That sounds really cool.
I thought that was kind of neat too. But yeah, so it's really amazing that as soon as you start, I don't want to call it a snowball or a domino effect, but as soon as you start hearing about these nonprofits and organizations that help people, it's like, wow, I could do that, and oh well, here put these people in touch. And
like I don't have like a lot of money, but it's so easy to give away my daughter's birthday presents. Like she doesn't need them.
Regift.
And it sounds weird to say it, but like if she had 20 kids at her birthday party, she doesn't need 20 more presents. She's already getting a present from us and a present from her grandparents, presents from all of her aunts and uncles and all of her cousins. Like she doesn't need that many presents.
We actually were thinking of that at my kid's last birthday party, and I'm like, see, my kids' birthdays, okay, they are the same day, but they're close enough that in age that we celebrate their birthdays at the same time.
Yeah.
And the birthdays are in October, so it's like completely overwhelming in October, and then 2 months later it's completely overwhelming at Christmas.
Right.
And it's like, okay, time out. They don't need this much stuff. So what my sister-in-law actually suggested for their birthday is have their friends that come to the birthday party bring a pet supply. Cat food, dog food, kitty toys, flea collars, blankets, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, bring the physical stuff, not necessarily the cash, the gift cards, so that the two kids, 2 years and 4 years, can bring it to a shelter and they can see, oh, look at all these homeless cats. Because we have 2 cats at home, and the kids just adore the pets. They are part of the family. But seeing the cats and the dogs and the birds and the guinea pigs and
it's a great idea. In fact, Christy Shannon did that for her kids' birthdays a couple months ago.
But it's teaching the
really
kids
good.
philanthropy. It's teaching the kids that they don't need a lot of stuff, but they still have stuff to open.
Right, from
family,
or
they still have
people don't listen
stuff.
And they give them stuff anyway.
True, but at least it's toned down a little bit.
Yeah.
But it just makes things a little bit easier in our living room that we're not overwhelmed with toys.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later they have Christmas. So
So
that's really helpful. So did we get all of our questions done? So if somebody wants to join Mother to Mother, either just because they're stuck at home with kids and they need to get out, especially in this cold weather, don't think the Mother to Mother website is, they did do it, mtmburlington.wordpress.com.
And it's $20 a year.
It's $20 a year, which the amount of stuff that you do. You go to one party. I mean, we're having a party at Celebration Kingdom. You have to be a member to go, but getting your kid in Celebration Kingdom is $10 anyway.
Yep.
And I think they also offer group discounts to BJ's, so you can get your membership half price, and there's your $25 right there.
Yeah, it's really great.
So, and it's a great networking opportunity. You learn about, the community. You get to meet other moms and dads. Your kids get to meet other kids. I've also found it a helpful resource for when we were shopping for a preschool. The number of preschools in Burlington is overwhelming. And it's like, okay, where do I start?
I know.
So, well, okay, let's turn to mother to mother. Okay, hello, people.
What do I do?
Where do your kids go to school? What do you like? What do you not like? You know, and then from there, okay, we found 3 that we would be willing to look at. And I'm like, I'm not going more than 3 because I don't want to be overwhelmed. I don't want to overwhelm my 3-year-old, who's now 4. And, you know, we found the school and she loves it.
Yeah.
You know, she's just all about school now, which is great.
Yeah, it's really cool. That's sort of how I found out about like everything too. It's just through word of mouth and asking people and, you know, going and hanging out with them and finding out like.
And going and decorating cookies.
Yeah. Where'd you get that?
Cookies.
Where'd you hear about that? Where'd you do that?
And, you know,
even story time. Like they did a story time for us just for our mom's group, you know. And they do, the rec center will like open up the gym for us, just for us.
The library story time is really good, though, if you're not a member of the Mother to Mother, because that's actually how I found out about Mother to Mother, is going to the library, and we formed little play groups, and
and then people mentioned
got out of the house, and then it's like, oh, are you doing the Mother to Mother thing? No, what's Mother to Mother? And there you go. So.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if we got new members because, like we said before,
more active members.
Yeah,
there's
like
show up at things.
Moms,
they don't have to do anything; just show up.
Yeah.
You know, we're not asking them to organize stuff.
Right.
But
so.
Because I was actually in a rec class with my son, and this woman's like, well, I joined Mother to Mother expecting more play groups. Did you go to any activity? And she's like, well, there aren't any play groups listed. Did you go to any of the bigger activities to meet people and then maybe have them invite? You know, because I was really reluctant to invite 100 strange families over to my house.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying that they're strange, but I don't know them.
Yeah, you don't know, yeah.
But I go to some of the other events, meet 1 or 2 moms or even 3, and then start hanging out with them and talking to them, and then oh, hey, do you want to come over to my house on Thursday or whatever? So
yeah, well, and they do send someone's in charge of the moms groups, the like play groups,
right?
And someone, whoever that is, I can't remember who it was. They sent out an email at the beginning of the year saying, "Do you want to be in a play group?"
It might have been Charlene.
Maybe
on your board.
Yeah.
Who's also on.
Yes, and she works full time now. Oof. She's a busy girl.
And she's got 2 kids.
Yeah.
Working moms with 2 kids or with any kids just deserve a medal in my book because I'm a stay-at-home mom and
I'm only part-time right now, so I can't complain. But when I worked full-time when Maya was little and I was pregnant, I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah, no, too much.
Yeah.
So, well, I do want to, I think we have about 3 more minutes.
3 minutes.
So I do want to thank you for appearing on my show.
Thanks for having me.
And one quick thing in 30 seconds or less. Was it Womenade that did the bake sale? Or was that Mother to Mother that did the bake sale?
That was it was Mother to Mother. Yeah. I mean, we just kind of threw it out there.
What was the bake sale for? I forget.
It was for an organization called NoKidHungry.org.
That's
It's called the Great American Bake Sale, and everyone is having them all over the country.
Okay.
And we raised $325 in less than 2 hours.
That is amazing.
And you helped. Thank you.
And I helped, yes. My daughter and I baked cookies.
Yeah.
And then
we hung out and stayed.
We hung out and we stayed, and there was a steady stream, but I was really pleasantly surprised when you said that.
Me too.
We raised over $300. It's like, wow, there were that many people there?
Well, some people did come and just like give me cash and not take as many things as they.
Well, that's fine, but still, just the number of the amount of traffic.
Yeah.
So well, congratulations on all your endeavors, and you deserve a medal for everything that you do. Because I know, but it just seems like you're always helping.
It's fun for me, definitely. You know, and we don't go to church or like go to synagogue. We're sort of like a multi-religious family, and so it's sort of nice for the kids to have like.
Learn what a good person does.
To see us doing stuff like this and helping other people, because they're not necessarily going to go and like be told how to do that, you know. So
they're shown, which is even a better lesson. So, well, thank you very much for appearing.
Thanks for having.
I do want to mention that on my next program, which is going to premiere on today's February 13th, so February 27th, we will be discussing women-owned businesses. And I will have 2 guests. One will be Kristen Brady, who has an online business and a consulting business. and then Louise Comerford, who has a dance studio. So she has a physical space here in Burlington, and both of them have just recently started up with businesses. So hopefully you will tune in, and hopefully you will call, or once again, please feel free to email me at talk@bcattv.org. So thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you have a pleasant day. Thanks and good night.